John C. Maxwell, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. Follow them and people will follow you. Embark on a journey to discover the secrets of effective leadership through John C. Maxwell's The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. Delve into the stories of historical icons like Abraham Lincoln and Martin Luther King Jr. as you explore and learn from their mastery of leadership dynamics. This summary highlights key themes like the law of influence, law of empowerment, law of process, and law of magnetism, among many others, showcasing how these great leaders truly made an impact in the world. Get ready to be inspired and transform your own leadership style by applying the lessons shared in this book summary.
The Law of Influence and Empowerment in the Life of Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln's journey to leadership and how the law of influence and empowerment helped him attain it. Abraham Lincoln is one of the most popular U.S. presidents of all time, but his path to leadership was far from smooth. In 1832, Lincoln was a tall, gangly young man who gathered a group of volunteers to fight in a militia in the Black Hawk War. However, he knew next to nothing about being a soldier. Lincoln's level of influence decreased as he went from a captain to a mere private, and during his time in Illinois state legislature and the U.S. House of Representatives, he struggled to make an impact. So what changed? According to the law of influence, influence is the truest measure of leadership, not power or charisma. Leaders don't have to be born great, rather, they need to be influential. Abraham Lincoln's pursuit of influence began with his character. He was a man of depth and integrity, and his followers could sense it. Building up personal knowledge is another crucial factor in gaining influence. Lincoln never went to college, but his speeches prove that he was an incredibly learned man. Lincoln's use of the law of empowerment also contributed to his success. He was willing to give power to others and chose cabinet members who challenged him and brought diverse arguments. Lincoln's attitude toward choosing military generals reflected his belief in others. When they performed well, he gave them credit, and when they performed poorly, he took accountability. His dedication to the law of empowerment and belief in others allowed them to believe in themselves and achieve great things. If you want to gain influence and achieve leadership, you need to believe in the people around you. Make a list of the people closest to you and rate their potential on a scale of 1 to 10. Then, write down their greatest strengths and imagine how they might leverage them to achieve something spectacular. By believing in others, you can help them succeed and attain leadership of their own. Leadership Lessons from Theodore Roosevelt. The book delves into Theodore Roosevelt's journey of becoming a great leader by following two leadership laws, the law of process and the law of magnetism. The law of process signifies that leadership is not a one-day affair but built over time by consistent efforts. Roosevelt mastered this law by engaging in physically challenging activities and reading books. The law of magnetism states that leaders attract followers with similar qualities as theirs. Roosevelt, with his charming personality and diverse background, attracted those with similar traits. The book suggests following the footsteps of Roosevelt by creating a personal growth plan and attracting the right kind of people by identifying your strengths and weaknesses. Harriet Tubman, Leading with Courage and Service. Harriet Tubman, a small black woman with 2 missing front teeth, made 19 trips from the American South to the North, leading enslaved black people to freedom with the help of sympathizers. She never lost a single passenger because of her unwavering determination, embodying the law of respect and the law of addition. Her leadership gained immense influence and respect among enslaved people, influential Northerners, and sympathizers. Tubman demonstrated her respect for others, exhibited courage, and served her people, even risking everything to do so. Great leaders add value to people's lives by improving them, teaching skills, and providing wisdom. By regularly performing small acts of service without seeking recognition and changing their attitude towards helping others, leaders can gain respect and lead with courage and service like Tubman. Sacrifice and buy-in in MLK's leadership. The summary recounts how Martin Luther King, Jr. led the Montgomery Improvement Association, MIA, in a boycott against racial segregation in transit systems, negotiated with city leaders, and suffered a great personal cost for fighting for civil rights. He ultimately won the Nobel Peace Prize for his courageous efforts in the civil rights movement. The summary also emphasizes the importance of sacrifice for leaders and the need for buy-in from followers. Martin Luther King, Jr. was enjoying a peaceful family life in Montgomery, Alabama when the transit system's racist policies were challenged. In 1955, Rosa Parks was arrested for refusing to give up her seat to a white bus passenger. Black leaders including King immediately started a boycott which soon transitioned into a continued boycott coordinated by MIA, a group King led as elected leader. He negotiated for the fair treatment of Black Americans which eventually achieved a victory in 1956. However, King faced many arrests, death threats, and the bombing of his property along the journey. MLK's legacy of influencing the civil rights movement was possible due to the extreme level of sacrifice he put forth. He embodied the law of sacrifice by putting others ahead of himself and doing what was best for the group as a whole. Leaders need to be willing to give up a lot to succeed, and the higher the level of leadership, the higher the cost. The price of sacrifice is ongoing and not a one-time payment, as sacrifices are necessary throughout a leader's career. The summary also emphasizes the law of buy-in which MLK mastered. People follow leaders first and embrace their causes afterward. Leaders must get people to buy into themselves and then their vision. As a leader, it's essential to develop a strategy unique to each follower and put it into action. Credibility rises when leaders are honest, authentic, help followers achieve their personal goals, and provide better tools to do their jobs. Even after MLK's assassination, his followers kept his dream alive. The summary brings out the importance of sacrifice and buy-in to become a successful leader just like Martin Luther King Jr. The law of victory and timing. Despite being on the brink of collapse, a few leaders, including Winston Churchill, refused to accept Hitler's machinations during World War II without a fight. Churchill deployed troops, and allied with Soviet leader Stalin and American President Roosevelt. Churchill's success was due to practicing the law of victory, which consists of three components: unity of vision, diversity of skills, and dedicated leadership. He also followed the law of timing, because doing even the right things at the wrong time can spell disaster. Leaders must think about both the timing and rightness of their actions to succeed.
In conclusion, John C. Maxwell's The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership imparts invaluable wisdom by examining the qualities that influence true leadership. Through the lives and stories of celebrated leaders, we learn about the importance of character, knowledge, personal growth, and belief in others. The book emphasizes that continually honing one's skills, surrounding oneself with diverse perspectives, and being willing to sacrifice for the greater good are crucial for effective leadership. By reflecting on our own strengths, weaknesses, and potential, and embracing a mindset of continuous improvement and service, we can elevate our leadership abilities and make a lasting impact on the world.